I've just gone out of the 1:30 showing of The Iron Claw, which is produced by A24 and BBC Film. And this is a movie that I wanted to check out for the longest time, but in the UK, it took such a long time for us to even get it over here, and I finally got to check it out on the big screen. But firstly, hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out my review of The Iron Claw. Now, I know that every person and their grandma at this point has talked about this movie on YouTube, but in the UK, it took a while for us to get this movie. I know this is kind of classed as like a 2023 movie, but for me, I kind of class it as a 2024 one because it only just kind of came out. I'm not going to keep this a very long review. All I'm going to tell you guys in terms of the plot, if you're unfamiliar on this right now, it's basically about the Von Erich brothers. Their kind of bibliography, kind of sport drama based on a true story about them and their career in the sport of professional wrestling. You're not already benefiting from early access videos on my Patreon, sign up down below by the description box. You can join the legends in the limelight like these guys, so thank you so much to all of them who support the channel. And yeah, Patreon, only £2 per month. You get access to so much early stuff, early videos, competitions, giveaways and all that goodies. Check it out down below and I'll see you over there at Patreon. This is directed by Sean Durkin. Never seen any of his previous work, but the actors in here, I have seen their previous works that include Zac Efron, Harris Dickinson, and many, many more. So I will just be flat out and honest with you guys. I really loved this movie. I thought it had so much going for it and it executed it so well. I'll be honest, I've maybe got like one or two kind of nitpicks, but besides that, everything else is great. Cinematography, you know it's A24 at this point, so you know it's going to look good. And it does. It looks terrific. It captures the timepiece of kind of the late 70s going into like the early 80s and then kind of going into more of the late 80s and kind of beyond. It captures it really well. You feel like you're in that time zone. You feel as if you're there with the Von Erich brothers. The story is very interesting. As a wrestling fan, I really enjoyed it. I'll be honest, I personally did not know a lot about the Von Erich brothers at all. I've heard of them, heard of the names. That was kind of about it, but I know they played a very important part in wrestling history. So kind of watching this movie, at least I can kind of take away a little bit more knowledge than what I had previously. Is this true to the actual full-on story? No, I've heard that they did change some elements here. There's parts in the movie that did change to actual real life comparison, like the events of real life. But at the end of the day, the problem is this is only like a 2 and a bit hour movie, where of course if it was like a limited TV series, so say like 6 episodes, they would have more time to flesh out the story. But the performances were fantastic. 2 I've got to highlight straight away. The biggest one being Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich, who is great. The story basically centers on his character, and of course the brothers are very vital and integral to the story, but it focuses on him and kind of more of his perspective as the events transpire in this just utter tragic tale. And that is the solid foundation for the story. Just heartbreak, kind of deceit in a way, turmoil, grief, and so many more emotions you're gonna feel from this. And I do apologize because the next person I want to shout out is the person who played the dad in here. I can't remember the name, but the name will be right there, so apologies for that. But he was great. This dad is absolutely no remorse whatsoever. So blunt and just selfish, and it really frustrates you as the audience because you're just like, wow, what a real piece of work. And it was just so well done in terms of the acting to sell that and make you as an audience member really feel those emotions. This movie is just utterly underlying, despite the kind of tragic and the heartbreak and everything that happens. Ultimately, it's kind of a beautiful story in a way because it just makes you show, firstly, if you have a passion, what you can achieve, even if it's kind of forced on you to an extent, but also the fact of how you can overcome the other side of that and see what you have in terms of a life after kind of knowing something for most of your life. And I think ultimately that is a beautiful tale in itself right there. As I mentioned kind of at the top of my review, I did say that I had a couple of nitpicks here, and the kind of couple of nitpicks I had were that I feel as if some of the kind of tragic moments felt a little bit quick in a way. It felt as if they weren't fully expanded or fleshed up upon, but as I mentioned, because of the runtime, it is definitely limited. And the only other final nitpick that I had was certain scenes in the wrestling moments themselves, which there is plenty of them. I feel as if the camera angle could have been a little bit better, kind of a little bit more zoomed out. I get that they were going for more of the kind of authenticity, which I appreciate. It's just something like a little bit of personal preference. I think that could have maybe benefited them more in kind of selling those moments. Just that little bit extra. But overall, the Iron Claw, absolutely awesome. Loved it. Can't recommend it enough. Definitely for you guys, if you get a chance to see it on the big screen, go see it on the big screen. So my overall score is a 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you so much for watching this review. Really appreciate it. Definitely give the video a big thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't by clicking the red button down below. Click over here to see more videos of mine which you may have missed, or more content that I have if you're brand new to the channel. And until next time that I see you guys, I'll be seeing you later.